first speaker. Time to introduce Billy Boman. He is the lead UX/UI designer at Generative AI startup chapter. Billy has over a decade of experience across branding, graphic design, and fashion. I love a designer who comes from fashion. His career is marked by interdisciplinarity and cross-pollination, and a refusal to adhere to design boundaries. He has made his mark in the fashion industry, working for brands such as All Saints, H&M, Tiger, Sweden Jeans. He has a keen eye for aesthetics, strong understanding of trends, and his talk is called Designing for the AI Era, the Generative Evolution of UX, UI, and Digital Design. Welcome. Thank you for being our first speaker. Billy. Should I come down?
No pressure being first, right? It's gonna tuck this in. Yeah, so designing for the AI era, big, ambiguous title, right? But I'll dig in and explain a lot more what I mean by that. You're so many, and thank you for joining us here today. So hi, I'm Billy, lead UX UI designer at Chapter, a AI startup. Unfortunately, I can't talk too much about what we do, but we do lots of interesting AI-powered products. What I can talk about, on the other hand, is generative AI overall and how that's going to affect our industry, specifically the visual design part of that. And today, I want to riff on a few concepts, ideas, and trends in the industry that I think will change how we work and design things. And I'll show you some stuff I've been working on for the last 6 to 8 months as well. But bear in mind that this stuff is so new and so emerging that tomorrow or a year or in a minute, everything could change again with the technology and at the speed of things are going. Just like it did earlier this week on OpenAI's Dev Day, if any of you watched that and all the crazy stuff that they have coming down the pipeline. And that's also the hallmark of our industry, right? The only certainty is that things are going to change. That's how it is working in tech or working with IT or digital products. I have about 200 plus slides and about 15 minutes to get through them. So buckle up, you guys. It's going to be fun. And let's kick things off with a little movie. So that's the cue for that. Good bass there, really like that. So that's just a tiny snippet. Do I need to say all of that was made with AI? Different tools, but all put together, edited by me, of course. But that's just a small snippet of what AI can do for us today. And think of a year and 2 years, etc. And we only have time to scratch the surface here today. But there is a new suite of AI tools emerging and constantly developing on the market, and that will allow your powers as designers to skyrocket. And with great power comes great responsibility, as famously quoted by our favorite superhero, Spider-Man. So if I say generative AI, what is kind of the first thought, emotion, or feeling that you have? You don't have to shout it out, but like just think of it yourself. Is it something like this? Or maybe something like this? Well, if we would believe the kind of mainstream media narrative, it's something like this, right? It's a lot of this, a lot of this, and a lot of this, which all kind of boils down to they took our jobs, which actually is a sentiment that I can sympathize with and empathize with. It's a lot of ambiguity, a lot of uncertainty, but I want to contrast that with a much more optimistic view for you here today. And to do that, we're going to take a little trip back in time. We're going to look in our reverse crystal ball to the glorious year of 1990. I was 4 years old, and when a little tool called Adobe Photoshop was released on the market. And this is a little quote from, it's an amazing clip. I urge you all to watch it. Use YouTube, Adobe Photoshop Today Show America, something like that. And in the morning show, the host says this to kick off. A picture may no longer be worth 1,000 words. These days, the picture that the camera takes might not be the picture we end up seeing in newspapers and magazines. Technology makes it difficult, perhaps even impossible, to tell what's real and what's not. And then they follow that with a demonstration of the, back then, incredible revolutionary technology of being able to remove a background and paste yourself behind the president. Sounds familiar? How we heard this? Does this sound familiar to any kind of technology we're looking at today? But now, decades later, no one raises an eyebrow at sophisticated design tools like Photoshop or Figma. They're all market standard. And that leads me to this really nice ad by freelance platform Fiverr that you can criticize for a lot, but this is a really good ad. AI took my job to the next level. Quite clever, quite nice, I like it. And I think that really encapsulates the entirety of my talk here today, that how we, if we go into the theme of collaboration, how we collaborate with AI is going to be that it's going to give us designers superpowers. It's going to enable us to do more and things we have not been able to do before. So I have 3 points I want you to consider before we're going to look at some designs, I promise. The number one is to get used to new tools entering the market. That's just going to be a default from now. New tools will appear left and right, and it's crucial to experiment and play with them. No pressure, just play, have fun, in order for you to understand how this might affect your specific part of the industry. Follow AI influencers on LinkedIn, very underrated platform in my opinion. Check out great accounts on TikTok and YouTube for tutorials and news as well. I would recommend actually newsletters as well to stay in the loop. The second point is expect exponential technical improvement. What do I mean by that? It's this. To the left, you'll see Midjourney version 1, and a year later, Midjourney version 5.1. It speaks for itself. Like the development is incredible. And now we're at Midjourney 5.2, going into 5.3. Can we all just take a moment to imagine 6.3, 7.3, 8.3, etc.? This has, of course, not gone unnoticed by big corporations. Coca-Cola did a really cool commercial called Masterpiece, where they did a really interesting amalgamation of AI-augmented animation and live action in a collaboration with OpenAI. I really, really urge you to check it out. You just Google Coca-Cola Masterpiece. It's an exceptional ad using AI. AI is also finding out its way into our favorite social media apps. This is a snippet from Meta's design team showing their next suite of generative tools coming to Instagram. So soon you'll be able to have your baby photos in watercolor at this push of a button, as well as removing your background and replacing it with puppies. Who has not dreamt of doing that? So there's never been a more interesting and, I think, amazing time to be a designer than right here, right now. The last point is that AI can only work with what's already there. And what do I mean by that? It means that where there are conventions, AI can also reproduce them. So all these LLMs, or large language models, are trained on large sets of existing data, pictures and images, things that already exist. So the important thing here is to not only use AI to reproduce them, but use your unique perspective and your kind of inherent potential for innovation to make something completely new. So think about what is your kind of USP as a designer, and how can AI play a part of that. A fun example of this, about reproducing what's already there, is with the Netflix series Black Mirror. Sure, you all have seen it, or majority of you at least, where one of the writers tried replicating or doing a new. He asked ChatGPT to write him a new episode of Black Mirror, and he says, as it carries on, you go, oh, this is boring. I was frightened a second ago. Now I'm bored because it's so derivative. It's just emulating something. It's hoovered up every description of every Black Mirror episode, presumably from Wikipedia or other things that people have written, and it's just sort of vomiting that back at me. It's pretending to be something it's not capable of being. So TLDR, ChatGPT can, for now, only mimic and emulate the style of existing Black Mirror episodes. It can't make a new one because it fundamentally can't be creative. And that leads on to another separate talk that would be what it means to be creative, but maybe next year. I hope that's good news for a lot of you, because this is a topic I see a lot of confusion and misunderstandings about the took our jobs part. It won't. So, moving on. I like to skate towards where the puck is going, not to where it has been, to quote the great Wayne Gretzky. And where is the puck going? Well, perhaps you've used them. I'm really cool. We're using Midjourney here today, really good. There's so many tools like Stable Diffusion, Runway, DALL-E, Leonardo, Pika Labs, Moon Valley. There's like a new one every 15 minutes, right? So many AI tools. And now, with that, I'll state something that might upset some of you, depending on what type of designer you are. But that's okay. We don't always have to agree. We can still be friends. Visuals are super important. Just like we judge the books we buy spontaneously by the cover, the same with the magazines or even the packing design when we're out shopping at Hemköp or Willys or wherever you shop. This one looks interesting. I'll try this one. Or this one looks good. I'll try this one. We do judge the book by its cover, and that's okay. It's human psychology and human nature. And it's kind of pointless to fight it sometimes. And users do the same with the products that we design, apps, websites, whatever you might be doing. And this has been extensively covered in everything from Nielsen Norman's aesthetic usability effect to countless studies around hero images and landing page conversions. So, designers, let's play this to our advantage when we design things, because remember, we're going to get superpowers. And now it's finally time to look at some AI stuff. What are those superpowers, really? So most of the content you'll see from now on have been created in Midjourney, and I'm going to just quickly with you guys here explore some concrete use cases. I think in the future, we'll see much more rich web and native apps, visually rich, that is. Here's just a small meditation app that I've been playing around with. All the imagery you see here is done in Midjourney that I've then pulled into Illustrator to vectorize, and you have an endless possibility to change colors or manipulate it any way you want. It's just a little made-up UI in Figma, but as you can see, the level of detail and fidelity is incredible. Recently, I hosted a community event at a bootcamp called Technigo around specifically that, creating images for the web, hero images with AI. These are some of the concepts that I did, just for fun. These are all made up. Dentist, pizza, VR. All of these are kind of around this SVG vector style aesthetic. But you could go fully photorealistic if you want as well, as I'm sure you're aware if you've used Midjourney. Some more examples. This is stuff I've been doing for the last months around the illustration, web design, mobile, camping in the old kind of Airbnb style. I like that personally. Some more isometric rockets for startups. Why not? But it doesn't stop there. How about 3D? I love this guy. Look at him. He's so cute. For this made-up pet insurance website I did. Doesn't stop there. You can do 3D pizzas as well, or 3D dioramas. Like the 3D Avenue has so much potential. But doesn't stop there as well. As I said, photorealistic. We can create fantastic photographic images with Midjourney. This is some, again, conceptual. I don't work for Volvo. All of these are made up. E-commerce, no problem. I like sunglasses. Who doesn't? I mean, I used to work in fashion. I don't anymore, but we don't have to talk about that. some studies around silhouettes and gradients, and food. Midjourney is fantastic at making food. So tasty. That salmon just looks, I'm getting hungry right now. I didn't have any breakfast. So more around another digital art style, again, with references and the right prompting, you can get pretty much anything you can imagine. And it's perfect for making versions that you can A/B test. Or making H.R. Geiger-inspired futuristic sneakers, if that's what you like. I might do. I think also there will be no more stock photos, or that we all know and love, or perhaps not love so much. Now, as a company or organization, you could potentially just create your own, specifically tailored to your user base and reflecting your users in the most empathetic way possible. Doing things like lighting, angles, camera in an absolutely incredible fidelity. Here are some guys in France. There were some girls in Stockholm, just to give you a feeling here. I think there will be lots of much more beautiful things everywhere, to be honest. Everything from made-up techno posters that you can put on a bag to, again, incredible imagery at incredible fidelity as well. Here's just some nice Vikings and cats and different things I've been playing around with to give you a nice slideshow. I'm speeding through a little bit because I always do this. I go over, and there's so much to say about this topic. But just to give you a feeling here about the versatility of these tools. I think product photos will change as well. Here are some mock-ups I've been playing around with that you can just insert text on top of something really nice and get fantastic results in the end. I did a lot on wine. I did a lot of cookies and candy. This is actually experimented with Adobe Generative Fill as well, but you can, again, have AI tools play with each other and AI tools collaborating with each other. One of the last points is around advertising. I think the digital part of advertising will change. It will look a lot better, and digital marketers will have so much better tools to create amazing ads. So who doesn't like a good-looking ad, at least? And the traditional part as well. Here are some examples of everything from Maybelline to Coca-Cola to a made-up collaboration with Gucci and Harry Styles. That's never happened. Or these Tommy Hilfiger ones. You can slap it in the mock-up, and it's like it happened, although it didn't. And the absolutely last one is presentations. Do I even need to tell you that the majority of all my slides here today was done with the AI? It's an incredible way to emphasize visual narratives, hammering points, inject humor, and create more intriguing and captivating decks. And that's all my time. I hope you feel a bit more enthusiastic, curious, and optimistic to the world of AI that's opening up to us as we speak. Maybe you feel a little bit like this. That's it. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.
Thanks.
I think we have time for one question, and I have a question. What is your favorite thing you've made with generative AI?
Maybe the 3D dog. I don't know.
But you're speaking to my heart as a puppy person. It's like,
I'm allergic, but I'm taking vaccinations too. Maybe in 2 years.
That is commitment.
It is.
That is commitment. I really admire that. Thank you. And also, I really appreciate, I'm also a slide maximalist. So congratulations on beating my record of number of slides in a presentation. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank you.
Ask questions in the chat, interact with Billy. One point that I forgot to tell you in the beginning is if you are joining us digitally, you can turn on